guys, Feng here, and welcome to GearCity. Okie dokie then, so GearCity is basically a car company sim. You get to make your own company, you get to build your own vehicles, be them cars, trucks, or whatever. And it's your job to try and sell them off for a profit. It's actually pretty damn cool. It's currently in early access, and it's got an awful lot of features, awful lot of stuff to it. I think we're just going to head straight in. Let me just actually quickly show you the settings, yeah? So, it's pretty standard video settings, not much really, as you can see. I don't know if it's just me or not, but there does seem to be a bit of a weird mouse lag issue. It's not major at the end of the day. It's not a first person shooter, so that doesn't really matter to me whether there's a bit of mouse lag or not. But I'm now still on a laptop as well, which is a bit weird. Even so, I've also turned the volume down. The game does have quite a nice music soundtrack. There's quite a lot of stuff, and it's pretty cool, but again, it's YouTube, so best off just taking it off as you do. Right, let's start us a new game then. So let's set the game as Fengferth. We shall go for 1900s, and we'll go for easy. So, I've played around about 3 or 4 hours of the game. I've had 3 different saves, and each time I failed absolutely miserably. It's very unforgiving if you haven't got a clue what the hell you're doing, which I don't. So this is going to be absolutely hilarious. Now, what I've read a few things on the forums, and what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to make cars that suit a particular type of market. So, for example, people that say live in Europe like stuff that are economic and stuff like that, economic cars. I've been trying to build like that, but unfortunately, I either get shafted with poor sales or extreme costs, which you need to try and balance. So, here we need to actually focus where our location of our headquarters is going to go. As you can see, there's quite a lot of choice. Absolutely tons of choice. South America, North America. We can't go in Greenland. That's Iceland, isn't it? Wow, we can actually go in Iceland? Seriously? That's pretty cool. That's Denmark, apparently. Okay. Doesn't look like Denmark to me. But yeah. Cool, so there's actually a lot. No, that's Greenland. Where's Iceland then? Or am I just being dumb? I'm just being dumb at this point. It's fine. But as you can see, there are tons and tons of choices. Okay, so we're going to go, well, basically, I'm living right next door to Birmingham, so that's where we're going to start off. We're going to start off in Birmingham. Now, you're probably best off trying to pick a city that has a lot of population, because the more population you have, the more likely they are to buy a car. Makes sense, doesn't it? But, of course, you need to consider that people need certain types of cars. So, London's actually got a bit more of a manufacturing capacity. Only a little bit, though. So, I suppose we'll go with Birmingham. Yeah, we'll go with Birmingham. My name is Fengferth, of course. And company name, we're going to go with Enterprises. There we go. And company logo. There's actually quite a bit of choice. We're gonna go with bunnies because it's bunnies, so you know it's got to be done. AI settings, right? So as you can see, our complex AI system requires a great amount of processing power. For quicker turn times, we recommend a small number of AI competitors. So we're gonna go with probably random 50. Or I don't know actually. I haven't actually tried it on the computer yet. So let's just go with 25 largest. There we go. Okay. So this is the interface. This is your office. There's an awful lot of stuff you can do here. So let's just go through what you can actually do. So here you can change the music. You can change the volume. You can put it on random. And other stuff obviously will go to mute, so it stays on mute. This is where you end your turn. It is turn-based, so you've got plenty of time to consider what you're doing. Well, to be honest, it wouldn't really work if it was real time. It would not really work at all. But yeah, this is where we leave the office to do other things. So we've got our R&D department, which is very important. We'll be going there very soon to actually build our first vehicle, racetrack, and showroom. So here's just your main menu, which you can bring up with escape as well. No big deal. Alright, so here's your memos. You'll be getting a lot of these. Most of them are just trash that you don't really need, but a lot of them are useful. It tells you when your research is done and other things, so that's cool. And here is the, well, I like to call it the almanac. This shows you a lot of things, a lot of stuff. As you can see, this will actually show us our sales. Since we're not producing anything yet, it's going to be absolutely bare. Expenses, again, we haven't actually done anything yet. We haven't ended the turn, so of course there's no expenses. Revenues, contracts, etc, etc. Some obviously are disabled, so yeah, that's obvious because it's alpha, you know, well, beta, I don't know, it's alpha or beta, it's in early access, so yeah. Now this is the bit where we need to actually check up on. So we need to find out what kind of body style is in demand in Europe. Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? Of course it does. So let's click on this. Now, as we can see, for some reason that's been cut out. That's really weird. Might be because the font style might be something to do with that. But either way, it's fine. So, as you can see, there's quite a few styles that we have access to, and sedans are pretty popular in Europe. So are compact cars and phaetons and micro cars. And I can't see what that other one is. I might have to what if I can get to the options menu for, I should be able to get to the options menu for here, shouldn't I? Surely. Actually I can't. That's really odd. Let me just save this and let's just see if we can get to the options menu. The latest patch allows you to change the font type. But for some reason, let me just make it a bit smaller. Oh, don't tell me it's got to change the runner. Oh. Don't do that. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. It's going to do it to me, isn't it? Oh, I think it... No, I think that's fine. Might be a bit harder to read them on the video, so I do apologise if that's the case. Here we go. We can actually see a little bit better now. I just hope it's okay on the video, but we'll see. We'll see. So as you can see, the luxury sedan is also an average, so that's pretty decent to try and make. But we're going to focus on the sedan first. That makes the most sense since it's very high in demand. You can also check other things like vehicle demands, although there's no report for that just yet. There's an awful lot of stuff you can check out. Really cool. Labour skills, as you can see, they're poor because we haven't done anything yet. We haven't done an awful lot of anything yet, have we? At all. So let's actually go ahead and start doing stuff. But first of all, you've got this. This is like a magazine, and whenever you make a vehicle, it will show you the reviews for that particular vehicle, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And you get the drift. So that's probably affects sales. You can telephone human resources, union head, lobbyists, and contractors. We don't need to fiddle around with that. And there's also a safe, which includes a gun, which you cannot shoot yourself with, which is unfortunate. A cute teddy bear, which looks really filthy. You can deposit money into your bank account, which will accumulate interest. But bearing in mind, if you want to withdraw some, it will cost you a bit of money to actually get out. And of course, shares, stock system, which is really cool. I haven't actually played around with that yet, so that's something I'm going to have to do, probably off screen if anything. Okay, so let's actually get started with the game, because I haven't done that yet. Now, it does actually come with a tutorial system, which is not particularly great, but it does its job. It's a bit buggy sometimes, because when you press continue to go through it, it will often bring up tabs or actually take off tabs that it's trying to show you, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. Right, let's go ahead and design the chassis first. So let's go ahead and go to advanced. The assisted one's pretty good, but the problem with the assisted one is that you can't tweak everything, which is something that you really need to try and do. So we're gonna have a carriage. We're gonna have it a front engine rear-wheel drive. We're gonna have that's a good question. Let's have leaf springs, shall we? Leaf springs are pretty cheap. Extremely cheap. Easy to design, so it won't take as long to design these, but they do perform very average, so let's go ahead and do that. And we've got the chassis name. Let's go ahead and actually just call it Chas 1999. Yeah, that's probably better. Just name it like that. Name it to the gear it's been made. Okie dokie. So this is where we mess with all the variables. So as you can see, we can bring these sliders up. Most of the game is revolved around sliders. You'll be doing a lot of sliding, an awful lot of sliding. So we're going to go ahead and bring these over. Now, as you can see, there's an awful lot of sliders, and this is just for the chassis, yeah? So there's an awful lot of... in fact, did I get that one? There we go. Right. So what we want to do is we want to try and focus on making this as cheap as possible to make. And it's not going to be exactly thrilling. For some reason, having a shorter wheelbase is going to make it perform better. Fair enough. Whatever works. I must remind people, I don't hardly know anything about cars, so this makes complete and utter sense to me. So I suppose we'll probably stick with that, I guess. Supported engine. I suppose we could have a smallish engine. I mean, is that going to really? It's going to affect the unit cost. And it's going to affect the projected cost. So maybe if we do knock that down, don't have to knock it down all the way. Can knock it down. Yeah, fuck it. Let's get down all the way. Screw it. I believe there's actually another page, a summary page. You can actually do it here as well. So if you really wanted to, you could like go here and then just put 0. I don't think you can tab. No, you can't tab. Give me that. Yeah, that's something we need. We need to be able to tab to get down to the next line. Because at the moment, all you do is click and type and click and type, which ain't great, but it's fine. It's fine. So there we go. Now, obviously, it's not changing yet. You have to apply it first. So basically, we're gonna make these down to 0. All of them 0. And I hope this works, because if it doesn't, I'll be a wee bit peed. So, there we go. And that's everything down to 0. Now, the unit cost is $43. Wow. But at the end of the day, though, the completion for this is going to be a lot. Wow. The last time I actually did this and tried to tweak it, depending on what makeup was trying to do, then the cost was actually quite high, and it also took a long time to complete. It took nearly 4 or 5 months, so that's actually a really massive. I mean, that's actually pretty good, really, because you can start making them earlier and start trying to sell them earlier. But as you can see, it's not great. It's all in the reds and bloody some oranges. But you know what? I'm going to stick with that. Let's go ahead and build that. We're going to build it. We're going to build the shipmobile. Okay, let's start off with an engine now. So, we're going to go with, we can have a single, straight, UV, flat or H. Single's probably going to be the cheapest. They lack good stats in pretty much everything else. They're very reliable and very cheap. Yeah, let's go for that. Single cylinder. Yeah, let's go for a single cylinder. This is going to be absolutely crap. 2-stroke gas, yeah, because we're cheapskates. Naturally aspirated, because that's all we can pick. And the engine name is going to be NG1900. There we go. Fantastic. That's the base bit. And now we get to do the fun bit. I'm actually just going to bring the summary up as well and just put that to the side. But I don't know what it's going to actually affect. So I suppose having all of these graphs up, these tables up anyway, is useful, because you can try and tweak around it and see if it actually does anything with the reliability. So as you can see there, reliability would go up if I reduce the revolutions of the engine. You know. There's an awful lot of stuff though to take into consideration, as you can see. So what we're going to do here is, should we make an absolutely shit engine? Yeah, let's make a shit engine. Whoa, that actually knocks them all down, doesn't it? Okay. Now what about this? What does this do? Increase the length and the width for the engine. That is going to be a extremely small engine. Wow. Can I make it any bigger? No, I can't. Okay. So, yeah. 101 millimeters. That's quite small. Is that like 10 centimeters? It is, isn't it? It's 10 centimeters. Wow. Now, we're not going to focus on anything. Just wing it all down. In fact, hang on. Is there anything else that we need to get up? Don't think there is. No, we've got the 2 strokes. I suppose we can focus a little bit on the fuel economy, although it's gonna make the cost go up a little bit. But I think we'll do that. We'll put the fuel economy on high. At the end of the day, it's going to a sedan, so yeah, I suppose we can, and then obviously bring everything else on low. People like cheap efficient cars. I think everything else can just get to 10. Well, 0. So let's do that. 0, 0, length 0. Focus on fuel economy. Where's the focus? Yeah, I could do that and then just go 0. I don't know if that affects the. I don't know if some of these variables don't actually affect the unit cost. They just do the project costs. So in fact, I might actually go ahead and just plop that all the way to the top, because as you can see, it doesn't affect unit, but it does affect. Wow, that one going on that actually drops a lot of them down. That goes up. That one actually affects unit cost though, so that's intriguing, that is, to me. And so does that one, but that one doesn't. Oh, it does. It affects it by $1. So let's go ahead and whack that all the way up, and everything else should be fine for the most part. Let's build that. Okie dokie. And now the next one is the gearbox. Let's see what we get for the gears. So we can have a manual gear. We can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gears. So 1 gear would probably be just forward. Yeah, a single straightforward gear. 2 is forward and reverse. 3 is high, low and reverse. 4 is 3 speed. The more gears, the better fuel economy, but of course it's more expensive and complex. I think we'll go with 4 gears. That seems really decent, and we'll gear for generic. I want it to be an overall kind of thingamajig. Yep, you heard it here first. Thingamajig. So that's going to be 1900. Okay, let's bring up all these. Blah blah blah. And the summary. Okie dokie. So many sliders to mess around with. I like sliders. I really like sliders. Sliders are nice. But you don't always need sliders. As you can see, you can always do it manually, so that's not really a big deal. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Gear ratio. I think affecting this might. No, it's not affecting the. Right, that's really weird. Look at that. It's affecting the gearbox power. But it's increasing the fuel rating, but then decrease it if it's too wide. Okay, well, we'll keep it at about middle then, I suppose. Is that about right, or do we need to tweak it a wee bit more? About there. There we go. That seems about right. Performance focus. This one is not affecting the unit cost either. It's affecting the project cost. And it's going to take a little bit longer to complete. But if it's going to be better overall, then I actually don't mind that. Although it's now going to go into 5 months now. So if I just bring that shifting ease, it's going to increase the project cost, but not the unit cost. So actually, I suppose these can stay up. I should really check that with the chassis as well, really. I just went by obviously what someone said in the forums. You can basically just put most stuff down. I mean, these here you can put down completely, because obviously they do cost quite a bit. It's going to have a negative effect, well, eventually, but to start off with, it doesn't really matter. As long as we can push sales pretty well, then that's fine. And you know what? I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and build that. There we go. So, what we need to do now is we need to wait for those to be designed. So, for that we need to click on the clock, And we can either simulate 1 month at a time, or we can type in how many months. Now, what I should have done first, which was a bit silly of me, is checked to see how long that would have taken. So the chassis are going to take 2 months. The engine is going to take 2 months. So the gearbox is going to take the longest with 3 months. So what we need to do now is go back to the office, and we need to plonk in 3 months. Okie dokie. So, what will happen now is it will simulate those 3 months. Bearing in mind as well, you do have competition in the game. There are rival businesses as well, obviously. So you have to bear that in mind, especially if you're in a place where you have got competition, you know, in the city. So you got to bear that in mind. Apparently, oh, why didn't the other one complete? And we've got a few new body available. All right. Let me just do 1 more month, and that should do it. There we go. That should do it. Yeah, there we go. So that's the research done. Now here comes the fun bit. Actually, I'm not that keen on this bit. Actually, making the vehicle. Now we're gonna make the sedan. So there we go. That's what a sedan looks like. Apparently. Bear in mind, I know nothing about cars. Absolutely nothing. I'm lucky I know what a chassis is, engine and gearbox is. This is called the probation health. Do you know what? I might just keep that, because that's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, we'll keep that. Probation health. Yeah, it's probably going to be an health hazard, so that's kind of ironic, that. Right, let's design the body. So, you do have access to very low amounts of models to start off with, but you do get more as time progresses. So, just bear that in mind. Now we've got that, which looks absolutely fantastic. That's what a sedan looks like in the olden days. Yeah, in 1990s. 1990s? 1900s. So there we go. Let's go ahead and put the body design. Now, honestly, I'm not that keen on this bit, actually designing the car itself. But it does have an effect on what the stats are going to be like. So obviously, the bigger it is, the more slow it's probably going to be because of friction and whatnot. I don't know, obviously, the complete ins and outs, but we're going to go with what's. I think that's fine for the most part. Maybe. Suppose that can stay higher. I know for a fact that the rear, though, the trunk, if you extend it, it will give you more cargo space. So let's go ahead and extend it. Like so. Doesn't look like an awful lot, does it? There we go. And none. Oh, we don't increase that one then. We've got a fender, window, bumper, etc. Front. Get the front. Let's see what else we can do with the front. We've got a hood, which we can. I wonder if that allows you to add bigger engines in. It might do, possibly. Not 100% sure on that, but we'll stick with that. And the fender, which is the flare. Yeah, let's go ahead and make it massive. Because that's funny shit. Now you can add some of the important bits like the tyres. At the end of the day, if you haven't got any tyres, how the hell is it going to run? That's not quite... it's not quite right. Can we move that? Perhaps. Let me move it, you bastard. Alright, let's just try and put it back on again. There we go, that's better. Alright, we're going to keep with that. And then obviously we need a pair of tyres at the back, which makes sense. I know what to do with tyres. I know what to do with them. Go away. Those parts go to the car. Okay, that's weird. Normally only tells you that if you accidentally double click. There we go, that's gone on now. Bit fiddly. Alright, let's go ahead and stick some headlights in. So these will automatically clone towards there, and we can move them wherever you want. So we can plonk them right there if we really want to, which would be absolutely hilarious. And you can stick a funny face on. Let's go ahead and stick a funny face on. So let's put the lights right there in the windows where people will see. This is extremely bad design, by the way. Extremely bad. We're going to put the mirrors right there, so there's a little bit of a smiley face. I wonder if we can curve them. We probably can't. That's a damn shame. So you've got the mirrors there, which will be extremely useful. And then the tail lights we shall put on the tail, of course. We'll stick them. Actually, because I suppose we could stick them at the top here. There we go. So at least everyone can see. Okie dokie. Especially tall people. And now we need to put the mounts on. The wheel mounts. So let's put one there, like so. That looks silly, but what? Who cares? Who cares? It looks silly, but at the end of the day, it also looks fantastic. Now all you need to do is put some blades at the end, and then you've got a killing machine. But that's not what the game's about. The game is not about killing. So, yeah. We're going to have a nice paint colour here. What are we going to paint it? Let's paint it green. Let's paint it green. There we go. A green, ugly car. Which is going to be our first beautiful engine. Save the vehicle. We'll call it the Shitmobile. There we go. Do you think it'll sell with that name? Probably. Now, we've got more sliders. Yay, don't we like sliders? I don't actually need the rating just yet. We need to sort out the design and the unit costs and stuff. So at the moment, the estimated unit cost is $517, which is a lot, to be honest. So we need to narrow that down quite a bit. So we could probably take all this down. As you can see, that has greatly reduced the costs. So let's go ahead and do that. I might even do it. Can we do it via the summary instead? Yes, we can. Comfort, let's go for 0. Safety, let's go for 0. And technology, let's go for 0. Apply that. Okay, so material quality, we probably do want to knock that down as well. That's going to affect the costs significantly. So there we go. Plonk that on 0, plonk that on 0. Plonk that on 0, and plonk that on 0. There we go. And now we got the design. Is that the design yet? Focus. So I don't know if this is actually going to affect the price. Let me just... no, it's not going to affect the unit cost, which is 212. That's still fairly high, really. But it is going to affect... it's going to affect the focus. As you can see, everything is just in red except for the drivability and fuel, which is hilarious. But who knows? Maybe bringing these up a little bit might help. Although the completion date is certainly something to think about, because it won't quite be completed until... yeah, let's knock these down. Let's focus on a bit of cargo, maybe. Yeah, let's focus on a bit of cargo with a bit of dependability, enough for it to have a quality rating, maybe. Yeah, that'll do. Testing, I'm not too sure if this affects either. No, this doesn't affect the unit cost either. That's intriguing. But it will mean that it's going to be completed less. So let's do no testing whatsoever, because we want a Deafenbill. 0, 0, and 0. Alright, so this will be completed on the 9th month, which is fantastic. Okie dokie. This is not going to go well, by the way. $212 unit price. So we need to figure out a way to make money off that. So we go to the office and we are going to simulate... I can't remember any months because I'm a dumbass. Let's simulate... oh yeah, 4 months. So let's go for 4 months. There we go. So 4 months and we have it completed. So now we have a vehicle. Now, the interesting bit. We need to now get these going. We need to start making them, we need to start producing them, and we need to start selling them. So what we need to do, there's 2 ways you can actually go about doing this. You can go to the world map, and you can click the individual kind of city info, and then you can go for me, you got your factories. Now obviously you start off with a factory, I believe anyway, should do. Yeah. We've got a factory here, so that's fantastic. It's got 5 production lines, and we can adjust the production speed based on quality over quantity, which is really cool. We also have a branch here, which is where we sell the cars, and we can focus on marketing. We need to basically, that's spending money to get more awareness of the or the product itself, which would be cool. And then competition, we actually have no competition here, which is fan-fucking-tastic. So we're gonna get off quite easily here with just sending a Birmingham for a bit. So we're going to, I do want to show you the other way as well though, which is really cool. There's actually like a one window button here, which is the mega window. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? Super Ultra All-in-One Mega Menu Controller. Which is really nice as well. So from here we can specify that we want all 5 production lines available. So we've assigned this vehicle to 5 production lines. We would need 640 employees to build 192 vehicles a month. Let's not be that hasty just yet, because as you can tell, depending on how many vehicles you build, it depends on how many employees you hire. Now, of course, employees do have a wage that you have to pay. So we're going to go ahead and start off with 90 vehicles. 24 vehicles. Sorry, 90 employees, 24 vehicles. Actually, no, let's go for 40. I wish there was an easier way to... Well, 41. Okay, that's good enough. You can also change the shipping distance, so obviously vehicles can be shipped to other countries, etc, etc. If you have a global, then what you might find is you might end up paying too high for certain costs, especially if the vehicle's very cheap, which this one is. It's going to be, so you might not necessarily make the money from that, so keeping it around about what the default is probably a decent idea. But you can always change if you have a branch, say for example, if I was to build a branch at North America, then I could obviously send the vehicles over there and get them selling over there, so that's not too big of a deal. Alright, so here we go. So this is what's going to be made. We're going to have, I didn't assign it, fuck's sake. You still need to assign them though. So let's go ahead and start off with, alright, 45, that's fine. So that's assigned now, yeah? Yep. Now what we need to do is we need to add this to the branch. So I can't remember actually how to do that from this screen. I'm a dumbass. Oh, hang on. Maybe if I click that and then add and set. No, there's no vehicle. How the fuck do I get it on there now? I've kind of forgot. Oops. There we go. Add to branch. There we go. Big massive button there that says add to branch. What a dumbass. Alright. So the sell price is not going to be that much, because if we have a look here, we can actually see that each unit costs $223. So let's go ahead and make it... I wonder if we could sell it for about £1,000. Yeah, we'll sell it for about £1,000 and see how that works out. So we can set this to all, like so, and we'll see what effect that actually has. Now we do want to spend a little bit in marketing, not too much, just maybe a wee bit. And we can apply it to all. We can actually lock the percentages of the marketing as well, which is really cool. So let's apply that to all, even though it's not really going to matter too much. So newspapers, billboards, let's just go with 10 again, because why not? Yeah, 0, 10. Let's go with 10. Apply to all. Magazine. This apply to all is for all your other branches. Obviously, we only have the one, so it doesn't really matter that I'm clicking this, but you'll soon see. So yeah, sporting we can do as well. So let's go ahead and put 10 in that one. And events as well, we can stick it in that one. Now we can't stick it in radio, TV or internet yet, because it hasn't been invented. Duh. But we can put it in MISC. Yeah, I know, I just said that. Internet's not until 1990s, so that's quite a while away. But it makes sense as well. There we go. So at least that's going to get a little bit of marketing, even if it's just $20 worth, you know, it's not major. But that might help just get a few more sales. So what we need to know is we need to simulate a month, and we're going to see how well we've done. Okie dokie. So you might have noticed at the top left here, it shows you how much profits we're getting, which is apparently in the negative. Which makes sense, you know, at the end of the day we're paying costs and stuff. Okay, we sold 6. Wow. That is terrible. That is worse than terrible. Jesus Christ. Let me go one more month and see how well we do after that. Okay, we're still in the negatives. Fuck. And we've only sold 5. So, what have we got to do here? That's a good question. What are we going to do here? We're not making money. Alright. Well, the one thing we could do, I suppose, is try and try and sell them for a bit higher. That might have a negative effect, but let's just see how that works. We can also produce less, which would help as well. Although really we want them to be bought really. So, but let's just see what happens next turn. Okay, so we're getting there. It's 12 minus 12, 2 grand. We've sold 5. Fuck's sake. Oh, we've actually made a little bit of a profit there, so we're actually starting to sell a few more. Now, I'm assuming that's the case because we have had a bad review. Yeah. We've also found that the term of luxuries, the vehicle has bare bones. We also found that the cargo room to be great for one person as far as safety is concerned. Harmful to your health. Yeah, it's quite fantastic how it tells you that it's non-investment. Avoid this car at all costs. So that's absolutely fantastic. If we get to the R&D department, we can actually see the overall score on that vehicle. So if we come here, we can see that it costs $222 per unit, and we can see all the scores here. I mean, it's got decent drivability. It's got a very good fuel usage. Jesus Christ, it's fairly dependable. It got a 16 overall, which isn't great, but that's life. I think what I might do, since we don't seem to be selling many in Birmingham, is I might open a branch in London, and I think that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a branch like so. Don't really want any resources of any kind at this point, so we want as little employees as we can. Cheap. That's what we want. So we've got a branch in there. Now what we can do is, if we go back to the fantastic mega duper super ultra mega ultra buddy infinite menu, then what we can do is we can go to the next branch, which will be, that's the factory. I need the branch, which will be London. Oh, fuck's sake. Can I just that? There we go. That's fantastic. Obviously the factory from Birmingham. There we go. So what we can do now is we can add this to the branch. Apparently it already has. You're already selling the vehicle at this location. That's Birmingham. I want London. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, that's why. Oh god, I'm a dumbass. There we go. That's what we need to do. What was the sale price again? 1,200. I'm going to put 1,250 instead and set that to all. There we go. Now, of course, this one's going to need a little bit of thingy as well. But I think what I could do is, if we go back to the factory that was at, we'll just apply to all on basically everything like this. And that should apply to the other branch, theoretically. There is also a mega button, auto commands, and these will actually do stuff like fill factories, fill branch, fill research, etc, etc. It's pretty cool. I haven't really had a chance to mess around with this at all, so, but we'll see. Magazines, sporting, and events, and lastly MISC. And what we'll do is we'll see how that's going. Hopefully we'll make some more sales this time around and make more than just 2 grand. Alright, we're now making 36, is that? I can't quite tell. Stupid bloody font size. I'll have to sort that out next video, I think. But as you can see, we've sold an awful lot more, 43. So it looks like going to London and trying to sell them in London was the right way to go. And they're actually making a bit of a profit, which is fan-fucking-tastic. Especially considering how crap the car is. Are we making more than we're selling now is the question. Realistically, what you'd want to do is basically max out the production if you can, depending on how many sold. But if there's not a demand for it, which there might not necessarily be, let's just check. I forgot which button it is now. Revenues, reports, marketing effect. Wow. Whatever. I'm trying to think what the Which one is it? You can generate your own ports as well, which is really cool. Vehicle demands. Oh, okay, there we go. So sales are very low and they're fulfilled. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna have I'm gonna have more of a player in with it. And then what I might do is I might make a bit more of make a let's play of it. Depending if you guys want that. But I might do anyway, regardless. Because I really like this. So much stuff you can do with it. And yeah. Okay then guys, so that's GearCity, and I'll see you next time.